Yo guys, it's Slyroh. You already know that today I'm bringing you guys my Week 8 TBU battle against Enzo and the Swhisskers. Now, before we get into this video, let's address this first. Yes, this is uploaded late. This is supposed to go up on Friday, and I did not upload it for a couple reasons. One, I'm just getting over being sick. I'm actually recording this a solid week after that I recorded the team builder, and in the team builder I mentioned that I was getting sick and I was starting to not feel too well. Well, now this is me after being sick, and my voice definitely took it really hard. My voice stopped working, so it's still not feeling the best, but it is a little bit better. So I think it's at a point where I can at least record a video. Also, I needed to know the matches, the other results, to see if I was going to be in the playoffs. Because if I'm going to be in the playoffs, then I don't want to bring this to you like it's my last match. However, if this is my last match, then I wanted to be able to kind of wrap up the TBU as a whole. So, you guys must be wondering, well, did I make the playoffs? And for that, I will tell you to stick around to the end of the video. So, we're going to actually go ahead and just go ahead into this match and the teams. If you want to see what I brought, check out the team builder that was uploaded either earlier today or yesterday, depending on when I was able to get this up. But a quick rundown of my team is a specially defensive, what's that thing called? Electros. Wow, I think it had Assault Vest. Yeah, it definitely had Assault Vest, and it had some attack investment. Physically defensive Hippowdon, Choice Banded, Sandrush, Stoutland, a mixed Embor that had max special attack, Expert Belt, with like a bunch of attack investment, and Overheat, Sucker Punch, Scald, and Superpower. I had a Life Orb, Sandrush, Excadrill, and a specially defensive Kyurem Black. Now, Enzo decided to bring Mismagius, Nidoqueen, Bisharp, Doublade, Superior, and Talonflame, and the very first thing that stuck out at me was he did not bring Gourgeist. So nothing on this team stops Excadrill. So I saw that and I was like, that's cool. So I predicted, I don't remember what I predicted. I want to say that I predicted either Talonflame or Superior. I don't remember, actually. Let's go ahead and just get into this match. Enzo ended up bringing a lot of stuff that I was not expecting, and it really caught me off guard. So let's go ahead and just get into the match. I did watch this recently. I watched it from his perspective, so hopefully this will jog my memory a little bit. But I do lead the Electros. I think I was expecting the Nidoqueen. Yeah, I think I was expecting the Nidoqueen, maybe just to try and get up rocks. But he actually, he starts out with the Talonflame. So I switch into my Talonflame counter, which is Hippowdon, but he also switches out, and he switches out into this Nidoqueen. So, immediately I was like, man, that's a great double switch. Of course, Hippowdon can't take on Nidoqueen, or so I don't think so at this point, because I'm expecting a, regular Nidoqueen, things like that, expecting an Ice Beam. Electros can deal with the Nidoqueen. It's not the best thing, but, can deal with it. And he goes for Earthquake, so that was a good lucky for me, but also shows that he might be physical or mixed. At this point, I'm just like, I'm not really sure. Then he reveals Fire Punch. I actually go for Aqua Tail, which would have done about 50 to 60%, but I do miss, which really sucks, and I'm getting buffeted by Sandstorm, and he's not, so it's not helping me out. I decided to switch out because I was calcing, and I was like, wait a minute, Hippowdon can deal with a physical Nidoqueen because I'm max defensive. Even an Ice Punch will do like 40% max. So I switch into Hippowdon. Well, he goes for the Crunch. He's just revealing his whole moveset, and I'm just like, that's great. The more you reveal, the better, and I'm sure Ice Punch was his last move. I think that might get revealed later in the match. I don't remember. But, of course, I scare him out because I could go for an Earthquake, but I do believe I take this time to get up my Stealth Rocks, because Stealth Rocks are important because there's the Talonflame, as well as, there could be potential sashes on things and whatnot. So, this is a Mismagius, which is really scary. But I do switch into a Mismagius counter. Sorry, a Mismagius counter, but he switches out into Vertimert, the Superior. I believe at this turn I switch out to Kyurem Black to take a hit from the Mismagius. Yes, which is great because Kyurem Black can also deal with the Superior. I was expecting him to either switch out or just try and do like Leaf Storm, or yeah, shenanigans, but he actually just sent him a Light Screen, and I was just like, oh, you guessed wrong, I'm sorry, I have the Dragon Claw, I have physical coverage, because because that does about half even with no attack investment. He goes for the Dragon Pulse, and then unfortunately finds out that I'm max special defense, and that does not do nearly enough to a Kieran Black. That's a Life Orb superior. It was supposed to be Light Screen or Light Clay, because I don't know that he even had special attack investment, and if he did, I'm pretty sure it wasn't max. But either way, I do just go for another Dragon Claw, and I would take him out regardless of the Life Orb recoil or not. Then he decides to bring out Baby K, this Talonflame, which I knew was going to continue to be a huge issue. But as I was looking, I was just like, I still have a pretty decent, switch into it in Hippowdon. So I go ahead and do that, and then this happens. So I go ahead, get up the sand, but Enzo is one step ahead and goes for the Sunny Day. Now, at this point, I could have possibly guessed what was coming, but it's better. It's more like in hindsight I could see it, but in the match I was just like, okay, so he has Sunny Day, now he gets more powerful Flare Blitz. Okay, but this is still kind of my best switch in. But he goes for Solar Beam. Now, he was a mixed Talonflame. He wasn't fully invested in special attack and didn't have like a Life Orb or anything like that. If he had, then maybe he would have been able to take me out or whatever. For some reason, I predicted him to go for a Roost, maybe thinking that he might scare me out. I don't know what I would have switched into, but I thought he might Roost, and I was trying to catch him and go for the Earthquake, but no, he just went for Solar Beam. I expected him to go for another Solar Beam, so I switch into Kieran Black. Also, if he goes for Flare Blitz, I do know that I can live it, but I just didn't think he was going to go for Flare Blitz. And I was right, he did go for the Solar Beam, which does literally nothing to specially defensive Kieran Black. I'm definitely seeing how I like using Kieran Black. I really like using it in more of this defensive role, because it still puts in a huge hurt offensively, but it doesn't die. The Light Screen wears off, which doesn't really matter, as he does go for the Sun Boosted Flare Blitz. Kieran Black eats it up, kind of, but it stays alive, which is all that really matters. Go for the Dragon Claw. Talonflame's dead. Perfect. This Talonflame is dead, and I'm so happy. And then we get to this part of the match, which is probably my favorite part of the match. So we have the Doublade coming in, and I was looking, I was like, I don't have much to switch into a Doublade. This thing is actually really scary. But what I can actually switch in to take a hit and can then also immediately apply offensive pressure is Choji the Emboar. And physical Emboar is not going to do anything, but the sun is still up. Actually, even if the sun was not up, I'm pretty sure this was a guaranteed Oko. But, okay, never mind, the sunlight faded. So, never mind. Forget I said that. I go for the Overheat, and I take this thing out. This was Iron Defense Power Trick, like Shadow Sneak Doublade. It was, if that would have worked out, that would have been really, really scary. But I go for the Overheat, -2 special attack, and then Enzo falls into my trap as he sends out the Miss Magus, which means that I get to reveal the Sucker Punch. He was also a Choice Specs Miss Magus, which means he didn't have any not attacking moves, so I was really scared that he might go for like Nasty Plot, and then I would go for Sucker Punch, and then it wouldn't work. But the mixed Emboar pulled through, and I got 2 hills right off the bat. Now at this point, he has 2 Pokemon left, and I was like, wait a minute, all 6 of my Pokemon are alive right now. Maybe I can get a 6-0. So right now I'm thinking, I need to try and get a 6-0. I've never gotten a 6-0 in League format. I've never even gotten above like a 3-0. I think a 3-0 is like the most I've ever won. No, 4-0. I think I won 4-0 once, and that was a lot of luck involved. So I was just like, I can do this. Hippowdon can switch in, it can live a hit, cool. Poison Jab, bam. We eat this up, no problem. Then, I was just like, I need to go for it. I need to hope I can live and just go for the Earthquake and hope to take him out. And then we'll deal with the Bisharp when we get to it. Goes for the Earthquake, Hippowdon lives like a boss. We go for Earthquake, and this Nidoqueen also lives like a boss. So, I was thinking, alright, what can I switch into? I want to preserve the 6-0. I can do this. I feel kind of, I would feel kind of bad because it's like Enzo's last game and everything, but I was just like, I want the 6-0. I need to do everything I can to put myself in the best position for the playoffs, and Stoutland can take anything from this Nidoqueen set. I've seen its entire moveset. I know that there's nothing it can do, and I can choice myself into Superpower because the last thing that is left is the Bisharp. Which is awesome. So even after -1, that basically just puts me at normal because I was choice banded. So imagine this is a normal, not choice banded Stoutland. Superpower is going to kill this thing. Now, if he had Sucker Punch, if he was like Life Orb Sucker Punch, he actually had my team low enough where Adamant like Sucker Punch would take out my entire team except for Emboar. So if he had Sucker Punch, I could have gone into Emboar and I could have taken him out. However, he was like physically defensive Bisharp or something. I'm not entirely sure why he brought that. Just banter and whatnot. But yeah, so he didn't even have Sucker Punch. I almost switched out at the end, and that would have been really bad. I almost switched out, predicting a Sucker Punch, because I was just like, I could keep the 6-0, I could switch out Stoutland into Emboar, but then if I guessed wrong and then he ended up taking out my Emboar, he would actually be able to Sucker Punch my entire team if he was like an Adamant Life Orb type set. So, thankfully he wasn't, and Enzo, he brought some fun stuff because this was his last game. He, you know, just thought it'd be fun to play around with some stuff, and a lot of stuff caught me off guard, but in the end we did get the 6-0 victory. First time I've ever done that. I was really happy about that, but I don't think Enzo should really blame himself or anything like that. So what does this mean for our playoff chances? Well, after the 6-0 victory, we end up in 4th place in our division. So you would think that means that we're not in the playoffs, because in the TBU, the top 3 teams of each division make the playoffs. We finished in 4th. However, some things happened in the TBU, and one of the playoff teams from the other division actually decided to leave, leaving a playoff spot open. Now, naturally, they would just give the playoff spot to the next team in the division, but that next team is Enzo. Enzo has already uploaded his video. He already made this whole finality thing about he's moving away from Pokemon to focus on other things on his channel, and he doesn't really want the playoff spot. He wants to just move on and do some other things. And then the team after that in that division finished with 2 wins and 6 losses, which isn't very playoff worthy statistically, you know, you would think. So as it was determined, that playoff spot is actually going to go to me, since we finished 4-4 with a +2 differential. The team has gone 3-2 since I've taken it over, with probably above +2 differential, or probably not that much above, but either way. Yeah, so we are actually going to be heading into the TBU playoffs for the other division. I don't remember what division I'm in or what they're called, but I'm in the opposite division, and we'll be in the playoffs, so we still have a chance, and we can take this league by storm and win the playoffs, which would be really cool. So our TBU hopes and dreams are not dead yet, and I get another chance to use this team, which I'm actually starting to really like, and I'm really starting to get comfortable with it. So let's hope that we can keep going on. From here, it's just fun. You know, if I don't win, I don't win. If I win, I win. It's really cool no matter what. I've enjoyed the experience so far already. So yeah, there will be more TBU action, as well as all the other content that I already have going on too. So I hope you enjoy and keep up with that. If so, let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you guys on the next video. So thanks for watching, and until the next time, guys, stay sly.